What's going on social media? What's going on TikTok? What's going on everybody that's watching this? If you haven't followed yet, make sure you hit that follow button right there on the side. It don't hurt to follow nobody. Man, we back at it. It's Monday. We got fresh information on the Diddy case. We're going to cover that. We're going to catch y'all up. Some of y'all that got Cassie on the stand, and the AUSA asked Cassie, so when is one session determined to be over during a freak off? And she says when the escort finish basically come, that's when one session will end. Then AUSA asks her how many sessions are in a freak off. And she said, I can remember at least 2 per escort. So not just 2 sessions, 2 per escort. So if she having 5 escorts, she having 10 sessions. It's a lot of freaky stuff going on. If you've been paying attention to the Diddy case and you seeing what the prosecution is doing right now, what they doing right now is basically slow stroking Cassie into setting up a bigger play, a bigger blow when it comes to Diddy. So they basically just sent her up with little questions. When did you meet Diddy? And how often was these freak offs? And basically bringing up some of his controlling methods in the beginning of their relationship. And the reason behind the, not defense, but the prosecution method is, but the reason they slow stroking her is because not only they want to set up a major blow, but if they ask these detailed questions and hopefully that Cassie will relive some of these experiences that she went through, and hopefully they get a Cassie on stand that's crying and really reliving this nightmare that she supposedly went through. So the next question AUSA asked Cassie is basically, how did you feel after the freak offs? And Cassie stated that she felt dirty and confused. Next question was, so why didn't you feel like you couldn't say no to these freak offs? Cassie answers and says, well, I didn't want to make them mad. I didn't want to get them angry. So basically, they just trying to paint this picture. If she said no to Diddy, she was getting her head bust. He was going outside her head because this is something he liked and she needed to be involved. So basically, she was forcing her to be a part of these freak offs. Even though she was doing it and asking to be a part of it, Cassie painted a picture, hey, I was asking to be a part of this, but I was only doing it to make him happy. One thing I did notice, Cassie said that she didn't want to say no to him after he shared this part of himself with her. So she basically like painted a picture. Diddy was keeping this on the low, and then probably a couple months into their relationship, he like, hey, I got this little kink. One thing I like to do is I like to pay dudes to basically bang my girl out. And she felt like he was being open and honest about his little kink that he had. And she didn't want to make him feel embarrassed. So she just went along with it. Some people that got relationships, they be in relationships and they have a threesome on fucking New Year's or something like that. And every New Year's they had this threesome, but this is not no annual thing. Because my impression was this: I was under the impression like they might sign a big artist or make a big major win in the industry, and then he have a freak off or birthday party freak off. Cassie said this is going on at least once a week. Like this is just normal behavior in a relationship. She was getting his stuff off once a week, not no once a year or no birthday. So let's have a threesome type thing. No, this was every week, sometimes twice a week. The longest one was 4 days straight. Yeah, chat. They saying Diddy was telling her to go train for the freak off, and in my mind, it seemed like they making it seem like Diddy basically turned her into a sex worker to go train for a freak off? Like, what are you doing? Like, you just going to town with a dildo, or you just going to sleep with random men and get your endurance up? You train for a freak off, and then you doing this every week, and with at least 5 to 6 different male escorts every week. So every week, you allowing your girl to get pounded by at least 5 to 6 different male prostitutes every week. There's no way that Diddy was taking her serious or trying to make her a wifey, baby mama, or none of that. Diddy, my boy, reserve the bottom bunk, my boy, because you're not going nowhere for a long time. Dude, Cassie, now I just want to paint, chat, let's just paint this picture. Cassie, she's got $30 million richer. She's glowing. She's up top. Diddy, on the other hand, down bad. Ain't got that just for me no more. Can't paint the beard black. Grayed out. Wrinkles starting to show. He's looking like an old pervert. He Cassie looking like a young stallion. Pregnant, glowing the whole nine. So the AUSA asks Cassie this. Have you ever requested that you don't want to do a freak off? And then Cassie says this. I did gently. Then AUSA asks her, why did you ask gently? Because I didn't want him to get mad. That was Cassie's response. Every time they bring up why didn't she stop doing the freak offs, why she didn't express that she didn't want to be part of this freak off thing, she always refers back to saying she didn't want Diddy to get mad. Basically showing like, if I do this, I'm gonna get beat. So I really didn't have a way out of this. That's the way she's painting the picture right now. Cassie goes and say this. I didn't really want to stop because I knew if I wasn't part of the freak offs, he was gonna have somebody else do the freak offs with him, another woman. And granted, people say, "Hey, I just did this threesome with my guy because I didn't want him to go fuck the bitch without me," or "Hey, I done heard guys telling me like, hey, my girl, let me get the threesome, and she doing this because she know I'm gonna go ahead and do me anyways." Seems like if Cassie putting it in that perspective, seems like she's just doing this for she won't lose her man. Doesn't seem like sex trafficking to me. Because when I think of sex trafficking, I think of a girl just tied up in a room and all day these guys come in and just pound the town, go ham, or bus on her, do what they want to do with her, and then leave, and she stays in that secluded room. Like, you don't freedom. So I don't get how they trying to put, like, that's why I say I don't think they charging him with the right charges. Manipulating a woman and all definitely heinous crimes in my book. But sex trafficking, a federal RICO case for this type of activity, I still haven't seen anything yet that leads up to him sex trafficking her. I imagine that later on or down the line in this case, that they have to bring an expert in to break down how a sex trafficking victim thinks and operate during their capturing after they been released from being sex trafficked. Because I'm looking through this case, I don't see anything where she's been like raped or maybe I'm missing something. Maybe y'all know more than me, and we can talk about it in the comments. Y'all had your boy